Welcome back to the Snail Gang Podcast. This is episode 4. We're into the new year now. We got a bunch of things to talk about today. Another Would You Rather. We got some walk talks we're getting into. Virgil, you want to get us going?
Yeah, man. What a beautiful, beautiful day.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
it's been a beautiful week for the Michigan people, and we have
Yes.
the ability to make it a historic week tomorrow. So we're filming this on a Saturday. This will come
Mm.
out next Thursday, and in between this time, the Lions have the entire state of Michigan on their shoulders,
Yes. And their grasp, if I may.
and they're in their grasp. They
Yeah.
have the ability to make or break some weekends, make or break some years,
Yeah.
and make and break some lifetimes.
Yeah, I told Madison today, uh, win or lose, I'm probably crying. Uh, Either way, it's going to be too much emotion for me. I won't be able to handle it. Stafford coming home and beating us would be one of the most tragic things that's ever happened. But
Shaggy.
us
And I
beating
know he would
Stafford
hate to
at
do it.
home for the first playoff game of my lifetime, um, that might be one of the happier days of my life.
I know that he would. Obviously, the man wants to get paid, but I know
Yeah,
that he would hate doing it because he knows how much it would mean to the city. So it's like
yeah,
a.
that's a
It's
good
one of
point. I
those
wonder
things.
how much of a heart he has. Hopefully, too big of a heart to win.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully, for the sake of everyone involved, after the game, he gives a little, you know, like I did what I could. I threw a couple of
yeah,
interceptions. A little tip of the cap.
I hope it
A
goes
little
out a
tip of the
little bit.
cap.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
Detroit.
yeah.
I've
I
uh, I've heard a couple arguments for this. Some people are saying that they hope he gets cheered for when he comes on the field. And I was like, no way. Like, it's a playoff game. Like, I hate the fact that we're going to have to boo him his first time in Detroit, but we have to boo him.
you
Like,
think
I'm not going to be
so?
there. Way too expensive. But I feel like you got to boo him. And then when they're coming to Detroit next year anyway. The Rams are. So it's like, cheer for him then. Do a little special, do a highlight video, do all you want to do with that. But for a playoff game, you can't make him feel comfortable at all. I don't
Yeah,
think.
that's fair. I get where you're coming from.
It's a
Yeah,
tough
I
one.
don't know if we should boo him. Maybe not. Just maybe don't say anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't let him
Yeah,
know
don't
that we
don't let him know that
appreciate
we
him.
love him. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you. But can we actually talk about that side note? How expensive
Oh
not
my
even like
gosh.
playoff games are, but anything like it's become like a celebrity thing now, and it's
Yeah.
just too much money to
Well, especially
for
in
a
the
normal
NBA.
person.
The NBA is impossible. You can't go to games really. I mean, the Pistons, we probably could go if we wanted to, but
You get
we're
season tickets for probably
historically
150
bad.
bucks.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think a lot of Lions tickets, they even up the like season ticket holders, they up the price on them at least 50%, which I mean, I don't blame them, but uh yeah, going to this game, it was like I think minimum ticket was like five, maybe even like $700. It was something like that,
Yeah, dude.
which is just crazy.
I've been fortunate enough where I've lived in like cities. So Detroit, they haven't been great in a while. So like tickets are always like a normal price unless like stars
Hmm.
are coming. And then I lived in Dallas before, like the year they like really made it to the Western Conference Finals. So
Mm.
next year the tickets got expensive and up them. And then I can go to a Houston game and they suck too. So like
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough where none of the teams are great, so like tickets are like you can go to a game maybe for $50, which is like okay, like you go to one or
Yeah.
two games, it's like okay,
It's
but
a
like
nice night out.
yeah, but like even
Yeah.
going like everything's just so expensive now, bro. Like even going to the movie theater now, like just you and your girlfriend, like you each get you each get some tickets. They're $18, right? You get a
Yeah.
large popcorn to share. That's 10, and you
Mm.
both get a drink. That's five a piece. It's like, damn, we just spent
Oh,
sixty
five.
dollars.
If you're getting a
Yeah,
small. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
those
you're
are
right.
getting up there
You're
too.
right. Yeah, you're right. And it's like we just spent $60 on a Wednesday to go see a movie I didn't
Mhm.
even like.
It wasn't even good.
Yeah, it's just
I didn't even think I was gonna like it.
no, I didn't. I went and saw what did we see? Godzilla, the new Godzilla,
Ooh, I actually heard that
and
was gonna be good.
it was good. It's just it was late. I was tired.
Yeah,
There was subtitles, so you have to like really pay attention and lock in
you
the
gotta
whole
care.
movie. Yeah, and I was
Yeah,
dozing off, and
mm, that's
it's
no way
just
to go to the
yeah.
theaters. Yeah, I miss the old $5 Tuesdays, free popcorn day. I mean, that was
I'd give
we were living
anything.
life and we didn't even know it.
I That's what I texted you guys. You remember when we were sitting those? I was like, who would have known the last time was going to be the last time? You know, maybe we would have done something a little different.
That's a good point. And now it's just
I
way
don't
too
know.
late. It's so sad.
It's
I
so
did
sad.
find something interesting with like being married now and now living with Maddie. I found that I I used to like because I was living with Brendan. We used to like go out of our way to try to watch really good movies, like kind of often, like really like well respected movies. Um, it's not really the case anymore. Like I don't watch movies like that anymore.
Hmm.
Like anytime I'm going to watch a movie, it's with Maddie. So we're probably just trying to do like a feel good movie because we're doing like a
Yeah,
date night. You know what I mean? Like we're not
yeah,
trying to watch like a sophisticated like let's let's really try to break this down and see where this is going. Like what's the true meaning of this story? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
we're not appreciating the cinematography of a movie. We're just trying to like we're doing a date night. We're just trying to watch a movie. You know what I mean?
Facts,
Um,
facts.
so that's been a lot different for me. That's a change that I didn't necessarily anticipate with moving out of or being done with college.
Yeah. Um, I can. I'll watch movies if they're already like on a platform. Like if
Mm.
someone was like, I think that's probably the biggest change for me too. Like before we would go to the movies every Tuesday. For anybody who doesn't know, by the way, so right next to our college, probably what less than 5 minutes, Drew, 5 minutes up
Yeah.
the road. 5 minutes up the road was a theater, and if you had like free account with them, they would let you like do every Tuesday be $5 for a movie, and then a free popcorn, and then you could upgrade it. I think it was for $1 more or something like that. And we'd go and do that. I think it was me, Drew, Noah, and Sauce. Pretty much every Tuesday that we could.
Yeah.
It's probably
And
the best.
this was an Imagine too. Like that was a good theater. It wasn't just
Yeah,
like a cheap theater. So
yeah.
Rochester Imagine. It was a good one.
It was a well respected theater, and that's
Yeah.
what we would do. Um, and we just started it one day, and we just go, movie Tuesday, and like we just go after practice, go back to Drew
Mm.
and Sauces, hang out for a little bit, and then go watch a movie or go right to the theater. So that was pretty much for the 1.5 years, 2 years that I was at Rochester. That's what we were doing. Pretty much every Tuesday was dope to kind of look forward to that. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, I can honestly say I've been to the movies like a couple times by myself because I do enjoy like watching a movie in the theater. Like if I
Yeah.
know it's going to be like a good movie,
Hmm.
but other than that, I wait until it comes
Yeah.
out on Apple TV or HBO Max or whatever it's coming out on Netflix, and I'll try to catch it for free there. I'm just like
Yeah. And I'll be excited about a movie and then realize, I'm not going to go spend the money to go to the theater now like I used to. So then
yeah,
now I just forget about them and I never end up watching them. Like even if it's a movie I'm
facts,
really excited for, I'll just never watch it.
facts.
But I did watch Oppenheimer in theaters with Sauce, and like
Saw
that was
that.
cool.
That was
Um,
a good movie.
but what is that new one with Leo that came out like a couple months
Oh, the
ago?
Wildflower or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I
The
heard
one
that one's
about
good,
the
but I also had someone tell me that I shouldn't watch it in theaters because it's so long. It's like a 3.5 hour movie. They're like,
Yeah,
just
I'll
wait
plug
for
you,
it to
bro.
come
It
out.
just came out on Apple TV yesterday.
Oh,
I've been waiting for it, so I'm just gonna watch it on there. Um,
Dang.
hey,
Okay.
but
Yeah, I need
hey,
to do that.
hey, I won't share any information on this, but shoot me a text after this. I'll send you my information. Go ahead and watch it. Go ahead and watch it. Hey, it's on Verge. It's on Verge.
That's real.
It's on Verge. But I
Appreciate you,
think
Verge.
we need to talk about this because this was breaking news in between our last pod. But Saban and Belichick
Mm,
are gone, bro.
two legends.
Two legends. We have no idea who's replacing Bill right now in New England, but we do have an idea of who's taking over the helm in Alabama. What do
I
you
think
think
they
about
already
that
signed him.
hire?
The
Yeah, they
Washington
did.
guy, right?
Yep.
Um, I mean, he's had. I mean, obviously, he had success this year. I don't know a whole lot about him to be honest, but that's tough shoes to fill. I mean, no matter what, like same with the New England guy. It's just it doesn't even matter who it is. No matter what they do, it's going to feel like, is that good enough?
You're
But like,
always
what
going to be
other
compared.
options? You know.
You're
I
always
mean, you
going to
could
be
even throw like
compared.
Pete Carroll in there too. Pete Carroll stepped away, um,
Yeah.
and he's maybe not to the same held at the same regard, but still a legend in his own right with the Super Bowl win, a
Mm-hmm.
couple great years.
Mm-hmm.
They were a feared team. Who else? Vrabel got fired, which is, I mean, he's not nearly at the same level, but he's I think a lot of people regard him as a great coach.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, especially in the NFL, a lot of craziness with coaches
A
right
lot of
now.
turnover. Yeah. A lot of
Yeah,
turnover. Um,
yeah,
yeah, like you said, I'm just indifferent. Like I don't know. I feel like what I was expecting just from the Alabama position was um, someone who had a little bit more pedigree, if that makes sense,
yeah.
with it being such big, shoes to fill and the
Especially in the SEC.
exactly, and like with it being, not such big shoes to fill, but even like the magnitude of the school and kind of the legacy of Alabama. I expected someone with maybe who had a national championship underneath their belt, or maybe someone who was. I mean, no disrespect to the man, but the first time I'd ever heard of him was this year,
Yeah,
so it's hard for me to But we'll see how it goes.
yeah. It'll
It
be
would
interesting.
it
It'll
would
be really weird for like. Imagine if it doesn't work out and like Alabama's like actually a bad team. Like imagine them not being ranked or something. Like that'd be crazy.
yeah, or
Because
even
they,
like oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that basically the past decade at least, maybe the past just about 2 decades, Alabama's been the football force in college football.
Them,
Like
yeah,
they're
them
the
in
team to beat.
Georgia, obviously Ohio State, like those have been
Yeah.
like the blue bloods of the foot or
Mm.
the red bloods even of
Yeah.
football. Um,
If you will. Yeah.
so no, and but that's my thing too is imagine if Alabama does what a lot of these other schools are doing, like give them a year, doesn't work out, and they just fire them. Like imagine seeing that too, where it's like we've never seen Alabama have you know, two coaches in 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at least in my lifetime, like I've seen Alabama with pretty much one coach for the last what 20 years. He's been there for
Something like
25
that.
years
Yeah.
now. I
I
think
think it's been
Belichick
around
was
there.
in New England for 23. He's been there since
Yeah.
2000. So like
That's
this
insane,
is
dude.
all new. Yeah, this is all new to me. Like so,
I
um,
want to say Saban was like 27 or something. I think I saw the number 27 attached to one of those two, and it must have been Saban.
maybe yeah, it
But
must have been Saban because I
that's
know that.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what's that? I mean, it's a lifetime to be coaching some football, but not even coaching football. You've been coaching longer than that. But even
Yeah.
like at one school, winning, like kudos, man. What a hell of a
Yeah.
career.
I
What
always
a
forget too that
coach.
Saban was at Michigan State for a while.
Michigan
Like I didn't
State.
even
He
realize that.
coached in Miami, I think.
Hmm.
Like the Dolphins. He was a Dolphins coach for a little bit. But then
Huh.
wasn't a fan of the NFL, I think, or something like
That's
that. And
right.
he
That's
coached
right.
at a little smaller school before. I think he's like a coordinator somewhere. I saw it on one of the images, but yeah, man, yeah, Michigan State. That's what we can hold our hat on.
Well, and D'Antoni or whatever, he was a great coach too.
He was a great coach.
He turned Michigan State into a premier football team for a while there. Like
Hmm.
they were consistently
Respected.
ranked, yeah, a respected team, and they've kind of fallen out of that as of late. But they'll be back.
Yeah,
Spartan Dogs will be
hopefully.
back.
Hopefully, man. I can't keep living like this.
Yeah, and gosh, and it feels like Michigan right now too. It's like their basketball team feels like Michigan State's football team. They're just so bad, and
I
I
haven't
don't think
watched.
Jawan's going to be there next year. It's
Oh,
it doesn't seem like it. I
yeah,
mean, it doesn't seem like people want to play for him. You know,
yeah. I
they're not
mean,
good.
and do you think? I mean, this is just my assessment. Like, was his? I guess I didn't watch enough of basketball. I know his son's in the NBA now. But was his son that good?
I didn't watch him that much either, so I don't
Okay.
want to judge him as a player necessarily. But from people that I have talked to that do watch a lot of Michigan games, they said that it felt like every play or like the whole scheme was revolving around his son. And I
That's
think
yeah,
people lost respect for him as a coach because of that. Because like regardless of what your son is, like I think he was good obviously, like he was a first round pick. But Hunter was still the better player.
yeah,
Like even if he's not as good of an NBA prospect, he's a better college basketball player.
yeah,
And it felt like he just completely got away from feeding Hunter and running the offense through him, which he should have. And that causes their team to be bad. That caused Hunter to end up leaving. And now you have people who don't really want to play there, even though his son's not there anymore.
yeah.
Like coaching decisions like that can cost you for years. So that's what it
Um,
feels like.
we talked about our football stuff. We talked about um, hiring, firing. Sorry, I'm just reading the notes. Ooh, this is a good one. So, what is this? 2 weeks into January. Goals. Where are you at, Drew?
Um, well, we've recorded once, and we're now recording twice in the second
Mm.
week. So far so
No, I
good
had
as
to
far as the.
double it. Sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
feeling pretty good about that. I'm liking that. You got a couple of the shorts out also this past week, so we're on track with that as well. Um, we're still number 10 in the world, is what they're saying. So that's a good sign, but we don't have any income coming in quite yet. I mean, that'll get
Mm-mm.
there. Um, but the brands haven't quite caught on to the Snail gang quite yet. But I think that'll come with time. That one we weren't holding ourselves accountable to in the first week or two. And that's more of a long term goal. So far, so good, I would say, um, as far as the team goals, at least on my end. And as far as personal goals, I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if I mentioned that I wanted to read a little bit more, but that is something that has been a goal for me, and I've read just about every day this year. Um, and what is the other thing? I I want to post more of my own content as well. That was a big goal of mine, and I have been doing that a bit more. Um, Still not quite as consistent as I'd like to be, but um, 2 or 3 times a week was my tentative goal. And then obviously trying to improve from there. But as long as I can hold myself to that, it'd be good. And I have done that this week at least. I have 2 posts, so we're moving in the right direction. How about you? How are you doing?
Hey, your TikTok too.
Oh yeah, Andrew Klein underscore. I've done a lot of like fashion style stuff in the past. I'll continue to do more content like that if that's what you're interested in. But I've also moved more into like lifestyle stuff just because sharing how my sharing how my current life is as far as like building a new house, being married, what that's like. Um, those are just some of the changes that I'm dealing with, and I think some people connect with some of those. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you may like it. So Andrew Klein underscore for that kind of stuff.
He does some great stuff too, people. I won't
Thank
lie.
you, Verge.
Um, Fashion stuff was always great. I know you and I talked about that. You said you're trying to move out of that a little bit. Just because it's hard to dress that way when you just have to dress for a job every day and you can't do it as consistently. And then it kind of takes fun out of it. But does some great stuff. Keeps you up to date on what Drew's doing. Um, once this thing takes off and people start, oh my god, where do you guys live? I am gonna ask that Drew take down some of those videos because I don't want people showing up at his house and
Mm.
you know, it, yeah, just the weird stuff. I don't want that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, absolutely, man. Drew does some good stuff on his account. Go ahead and follow him. And just in terms of podcast goals, like you said, um, I tried to make sure we got some clips out there of us. One of them almost hit a K views.
Mm.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Oh, it'll
To
get
kind of
there.
see for us. Yeah, no, 100%.
Mm.
Got some
Which
likes
is
on it
crazy
as
though.
well. Yeah, man. Almost a K likes, just people watching us talk. And then we got another one, and then obviously more consistent. You and I have tried to be very uh, communicative when talking about like when to what works best for us and trying to squeeze some time in to do this. And then personal goals. I've been working out pretty much every day.
Mm.
Um, Definitely trying to get ripped, eating healthy. Um, Forgot what else I still want to do. Saving money.
Yeah.
Um, that's going down the shitter right now. But the 1 year is coming up with the old lady, so I got to get gifts for
Mm.
that. And
Yeah, it's gotta
then
happen.
next month is Valentine's Day, and
Yeah.
then I think her birthday's the month or the month after that. So like, I don't know how good I'm gonna do here in the next couple months, but
You're gonna front load the
hopefully,
year and then
yeah,
save on the back end.
yeah, because
Yeah.
more towards the back end, we plan on kind of living together. So I'm gonna have a little extra money in my pocket.
Oh
So
yeah. That's one of the best
yeah,
parts about
man,
moving in together is you're splitting rent. It's so
yeah,
nice.
yeah, man, yeah. So that's what I'm really excited about. So yeah, definitely podcast wise, we've been trying to stay consistent on this and doing our part. But 100%, man, I'm super excited about continuing to grow, continuing to see results. Maybe I'll start doing some. I don't know, to hold myself accountable. Maybe I'll start taking some progress pictures.
Mm.
I don't know. I really want to get ripped this year.
Yeah.
Um, and then maybe take my foot off the pedal a little bit because I'm not eating food that tastes the best, if that makes sense, but I know
Yeah.
it's good for me. So
Yeah.
maybe, I'll squeeze into, I know a lot of people say you're supposed to like shock your body when you're trying to lose weight. Throwing some shitty food every once in a while, to kind of
I
have
haven't
your
heard that
body.
strategy.
Yeah, man, it's TikTok coaches. I mean,
Every once in a while, you got to throw in
yeah,
a couple double
every
stuffed
once in a while you got to have
Oreos.
a
Or
12 donuts and a pizza to
mm.
yourself. That's what
Is that
they
what they're
say at
saying?
least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what they say. But no, absolutely. I hope that you guys, who are following along, are also holding us accountable. Um, maybe follow our progressions. Not only on here on the Snail Gangs, but Drew's stuff as well. Um, and kind of getting some more involvement just from that. But yeah, man, I'm super super happy about the progress that we've made. In this short time, just on the
Mm.
podcast, we've got just
Yeah.
as many videos in 2024 now, or coming out when this comes out, as we did in 2023. So the boys are
Mm.
doubling it. We're a bad group of men,
It's gonna be a
bad group of
productive
men.
year. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And speaking on food and diet, Maddie, I made her first burger she's had in probably 8 years or something. She
Yeah, she
hasn't
was on a
had
no
like
meat team.
yeah, she was I'm in pescatarian for a long time. Um,
Mm.
and then she started doing some like she'll do like ground turkey. She'd do that once in a while. And then she started doing some like ground beef on like nachos. But the other day she was thinking like you know what? I feel like I want to try a burger. So I've never made a burger before, but I took some, like her parents got a cow. They shared, like, split a cow with some, like, one of their friends. So they had some, like, grass fed beef, which is the only thing she'll eat. Um, Made a little mixture with that, some seasoning, uh,
Mm.
grilled it up. They turned out okay.
You're a
Not too
man,
bad.
Drew.
I
You're a
loved it.
man.
A
You
little
said grilled
sourdough
it up.
bread.
Mmm.
Yeah, it
Mmm.
wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I was pretty
How?
proud of it.
So, how did she? How did she like it?
She ate it very fast. She said she
Really?
liked it a lot. Um, I was a little worried because
Mm-hmm.
the big thing with her, especially with the beef, it freaks her out if there's any sort of like pink in it. You know, like if it tastes
Yeah.
good. Like if
Yeah.
it's medium, she won't eat it just because she's
Yeah.
not used to it yet. You know what I mean? Like it's,
Yeah.
and I completely understand that. There's the fear of it being raw or whatever. So with hers, I really tried to make sure that they were cooked all the way through. I was like, I'm not even going to
Mm-hmm.
risk it. So they end up
Yeah.
being a little burnt. But I put like some spinach and veggies on it, and toasted the sourdough a little bit,
What else?
and
What
a little bit
else?
of a. Have you ever heard of Coop's mustard?
Mm.
I think it's like a Dijon mustard or something. I don't know, but I put some of that on there
Mm.
too. So I think she couldn't even taste that it was burnt, which is good. So it ended up being pretty good.
Mm. What size? I mean, what size did you have? I mean, let me know.
It was a normal burger size. It wasn't anything crazy.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, man.
Probably quarter pounder.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, man. That was one thing I knew about Maddie is big, big, big. No, like meat gal. But that's cool though.
Yeah,
What
like
what
she
made
won't
it?
do
What made her kind
pork.
of switch? Nope. Yeah. Yeah. I don't do
Yeah,
pork
like
either.
shit.
What?
Well, I don't blame her for that either. I'm trying to move away from pork also. And you're no pork,
Yeah.
right? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No pork, man.
and it tastes good to me sometimes, but it is kind of a gross thing to eat at the same time. So
Yeah.
I get that. So I'm trying to lean more towards that anyway. Um, but no, it's for her. She's just always thought of it as like I don't want to speak for her, but it's always felt a
Yeah.
little bit like she just thought it was a little like a dirtier way of eating. Um, and that sounded really bad. That's not really what I meant. But I think
But
with the grass fed beef, she's more comfortable with that. Um,
yeah.
she understands that it's coming from a good place. Like she hasn't liked like chicken in the past because she knows that the way they're raised isn't healthy. But now that they're coming out with some better ways of like proving that, like pasteurized or pasture raised eggs, like she prefers those because she knows that it was a more humane way for the chickens to grow up or whatever. So
Yeah.
things like that make her a little bit more okay with it, and she knows that it's good for her as far as the protein and stuff. And she's been listening to a lot of podcasts about like women's health. And one thing that she kind of found that she's low in is just not getting enough protein.
Mm-hmm.
So she's decided to venture into some of that a little bit more, and it's been working out for her, I think.
That's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
yeah. That's when I was going a little veggie ting for a little bit, but I stopped
Mhm.
doing that, and I just felt like I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I'd have to talk to Maddie about it and like really figure it out. But like I felt like super healthy
Mhm.
when I was doing it, but then like when I did it for too long, I obviously know I wasn't doing it the right way, but like when I did it
Yeah.
for too long, it almost felt unhealthy. Like I knew I wasn't getting the right nutrients and like the right amount of protein and stuff like that in my body. So like
Yeah.
it was like, oh, I feel good. And then one day I was like, dude, like my whole body's off, and I could feel like certain things. Like
Yep.
I don't know. It's
I
hard to
think that happens
explain,
to a
but
lot of people. Like, you remember Ken and I? Oh, I guess I don't know if you were there or not. Ken and I did. We were vegan for like 6 months or something.
really,
Um, and you feel good about the meals you're eating because you like, I know this is good for me. But after a certain amount of time, I feel like unless you're like really good at it, maybe it's something we were missing. But a lot of people I've talked to who are vegetarian or vegan, they start to feel less healthy over time. Like it's
yeah,
almost like you're not getting the right nutrients, you're not getting the right protein. And I know you can get enough protein with the vegan diet, but it's very difficult to. Um, so, and I'm not
Yeah.
any specialist on diet and stuff, but I've
Yeah.
found that I feel much healthier when I'm including some sort of like healthy beef and chicken and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that's 100%, accurate. That I mean, that was my main thing is I obviously I was working. We were working on a college, finances, so I didn't
Yeah.
have like the money to do it the right way. But I was like, if I ever do get the money, like I would love to try it for like 3 months and just kind of see if there's a difference in like doing it the right way as opposed to not, and like kind of seeing how I feel because right now I feel fine. I mean, my main thing is I just eat too much. Like I feel
Mm.
like if I didn't eat as much, I'd be like feel better. But you know, I
Have
have
you have you tried like the intermittent fasting or anything like that?
no. I, no. I just
No,
don't.
no interest.
No,
You a big
no. I
breakfast
did.
guy?
Yeah, not really either though. Like I'll eat breakfast every one. I've been trying to get more into breakfast because like certain podcasts and stuff, like obviously they're geared to what I like, so they're gonna agree with me. But certain podcasts that I've watched have been saying like, oh, like you should like wake up in the morning and eat some breakfast because
Hmm.
like you basically been starving yourself for however long you're asleep, the 8 7 hours. So if you go another 7 hours, that's 14 hours that you haven't been eating anything in your body like need something to feed off of. So I've been trying to eat some more breakfast. I wake up, I start working, and like nothing sounds good until about like 12, and then I'll make some lunch and like so. I guess I
It's
am
funny that
fasting when I
you've
wake up.
heard that because I've only heard the opposite of that.
Really,
I've never heard anyone say that breakfast is good for you. All
really,
right, that's not true. Growing up, people used to say like, "Oh, it's the most important meal of the day," but like since then, like anything that I listen to, it's all been like it. It's a bad way to break your fast normally because our traditional breakfast in America is typically a lot of pork or
yeah,
um, like breads, like pastries, stuff like that.
yeah,
I mean, I guess eggs aren't that bad, but that's pretty much the only one. Um, but I've heard like extending a fast over a long period of time is a lot of times good for you because, like you said, it doesn't have anything to work off of, doesn't have any energy to burn. But typically, your body will burn. At least my understanding is that it'll burn the energy that you have stored, whether that be
yeah.
fat or um, whatever else. I don't know enough about it, but I've always heard that extending your fast into the day and not eating it until like noon or whatever you said you normally eat at is actually really good for you.
Hmm,
That's what I've tried to do. I'm not all that good at it,
really.
but
How's
uh,
that work for you though?
I like it. I feel better. And I've also learned recently that a lot of times you're hungry. If you are hungry in the morning, a lot of times it's just because you're thirsty or you're not getting enough minerals or sodium in your water. So Maddie recently bought this like trace minerals thing that we put in our water, and that's actually helped me out a lot. Because you don't like you feel hungry, but really you just drink some water that has the right minerals in it, and you don't feel hungry anymore. So your body's
Hmm,
tricking you to try to get nutrients.
hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's been a pretty significant change. And the other thing was I used to drink like a gallon of water a day, but I would just be going to the bathroom all the time. And then I realized like it's actually kind of bad for you because you're washing out all the minerals because from drinking that much and the water I was drinking was purified or whatever, so it wasn't actually any good for me. So like yeah, I was hydrated, but I'm washing all these minerals out. So these trace minerals are supposed to kind of help that as well. It replenishes
That's what
the
I.
minerals that you're kind of washing out.
That's yeah. That's interesting. That's what I've heard too. With like what was I gonna say? Like adding salt. That's probably got the
Mm-hmm.
same similar effect because it helps
Yeah.
stick to the bloodstream a little bit more, so you're not peeing all day. It's kind
Yep.
of actually hydrating your body and kind of giving you what you need. No,
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
Yeah. I've been liking it. I mean, Maddie's so good at doing that kind of research on stuff like that that it makes it easy for me because I don't have to do the research, you know. But
Yeah, Yeah. What is she? Is there like certain podcasts that she watches, or is there certain like? Obviously, she's in the medical field, so she's got a different
Yeah.
type of access to that stuff too. I guess.
Hmm.
I didn't
There
think
is some
about that,
podcasts
but
she listens to. I think a lot of she like also sees stuff on TikTok that kind of sparks her
hmm
interest, so she'll read some things. Honestly, I don't know what the podcast is that she listens to, so I wouldn't be able to tell
yeah,
you. I'll have to look into that for next time, though. I'll try to
no, 100%.
figure out what that is.
Yeah, I whenever I have a question, like I see something on TikTok and people are like saying something about health, that's what I always do. I'll just go to Jen. I'll be like, Jen, is this true? And she'll give me like she gives me this long answer
It's
about
not what you needed.
whatever, and I'm just like, yes or no. I'm just like, yes or no, yes or no. And then
Yeah.
I recently was, very interested. I know you guys do this as well. That coconut oil pulling.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
guys still do that? The swishing.
Yeah.
And I was asking this dentist that I know about that as well. Like, you know, what exactly are the benefits? And she was just basically saying, you know, with it, like it can like help with bad breath, help with probably like gums and stuff like that. But she was saying like a lot of the people on TikTok are like, oh, like I had this cavity from like 10 years ago and it fixed the whole thing. She's like, that probably didn't actually happen, but
Yeah.
like it probably will help with like bad breath and like gums and stuff like that. But she's like, the best thing you can do is just go to a dentist, that you trust regularly and just kind of keep your teeth, in a good state. And I was like, okay, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
thank you. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's,
The one thing I can kind of testify to is that when I started, I had this thing with my gums. It was like a weird spot. Like if I ever flossed it, it would start bleeding immediately. And it was
mm-hmm.
always just the same part of my gums. So it wasn't just like I had generally unhealthy gums. It was just this one part. And the coconut oil pulling has gotten rid of that. Um,
That's dope.
and I mean, they're correlated. I don't know if that's necessarily the cause of it, but it does seem like it would be. Um, but yeah, I've noticed that, and then Maddie has also pointed out that it's like your teeth are a little bit whiter too. So like, I don't know if that's supposed to be one of the goals,
I
but
have
I've
noticed
certainly
that.
noticed
I
that
have
also.
noticed that. I've noticed that, Drew. I've seen the smiles. But yeah, I can see it. No, but I'm trying to think about what else I was talking about medically. I can't remember. I can't
Yeah,
remember. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. I'm glad we got into that. I'd love
yeah.
to get into or even have Maddie on and like ask her some questions about
I asked her if she wanted a guest appearance today, but she wasn't into it.
oh Maddie, when you
We'd have
see
to have both
this,
the ladies on at some point.
yeah. Yeah, I'd have to. Yeah, I'd actually be down to do that. We'd have to go down to Houston. But
Yeah.
Maddie, I'm posting this on a TikTok because she likes all our TikTok videos. Come say what's up. Come say what's up. Come say what's up one of these days. We don't need much of your time. We
Well,
don't need much more than 10 minutes.
yeah, just make a quick guest appearance, hop in, hop out.
Quick guest appearance.
She
Hey
could even share my
guys.
mic. She'd be fine.
Yeah. Hey guys. It's Maddie. I'm Drew's wife. That's my favorite Drew bit, by the way. Anybody who's watching this right now, I know they're married now. And this is what he's supposed to say. I've known, I've known Drew and Maddie since before they were married. So before it was, hey guys, I'm going to hang out with Maddie today, and now it's hey guys, I'm going to hang out with the wife, and I love it. I love it every time. And he'll post something on his like TikTok videos, and he'll go, "Yeah, me and my wife," and I'll always go, "My wife?" Question mark, question mark, and he goes, "What else am I supposed to call her?" So
It's what
that's
she
another
is.
good Drew bit. It's a good point, man. That is a good point. That's what we'll have to talk about. That's what we'll have to talk about. You know what? Let's talk about it right now. What was your experience like? One, No, we'll say this for a different episode.
Okay. I
I
didn't know
like
where you were
that,
going with
and
that.
it'll take too much time. It'll take too much
Okay.
time. Um, what I can ask is, what was your experience like meeting Maddie's parents for the first time?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd have to think about that a little bit more
Yeah,
because I,
and
I,
then
I'm sure I could find a good story.
yeah,
I definitely have a good one for her dad. I don't necessarily remember the first time I met her mom. I don't think it
yeah,
was probably in passing, but like her dad, I remember the first time I talked to him vividly, and he even talked about it at the wedding
yeah. I
with his
remember him talking a
speech.
little bit about something. I don't
Yeah,
remember exactly what he said, but I remember him saying, "Oh, he was talking about." We'll save it for the next episode.
yeah. We'll get back
Yeah,
to
but
that.
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Well, that'll be a fun one. And then maybe that can be. You know what? Maybe that's an episode we do have both ladies on. We talk about the first time we met them, and we talk about the first time we met their parents, first impressions, what we thought of each other. Ooh,
That'd be cool,
ideas.
but it might take me more than a week to convince Maddie to get on. That might be a
No, not
struggle.
next time. Not next time. Next time. I'm saying
Okay,
like
okay. Sometime in
an
the future.
episode in the future. Yeah, that's what we could talk about.
Yeah.
But Um, yeah, man. Oh, I didn't get a fun fact today. Let me see. Let me give me 2 seconds. Maybe I can find one. I know I have a bunch
Yeah, well,
screenshot.
I can give you the would you rather if you wanted that right now.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Because I saw an interesting one, and it's not really relevant to anything that's going on right now, but I saw this recently, and I thought it was interesting because I think I have a different answer than I don't know if most people, but like I think of Brendan, and I know for sure I'd have the opposite answer of him. But the question is, would you rather spend an entire night on the ocean, like stranded on the ocean? I'm thinking like a raft. Like all you have is a raft. You just got to spend the night out there. So we're thinking 8 hours. Or in like the rainforest.
Did I
You can have
ask
a.
you this question before?
I haven't heard you ask that.
Bro, I asked my roommate this 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
I
That's
asked my
good.
roommate this 2 weeks ago because I was thinking, I was w- but I gave him a different one. I was like, you have a raft, and then if you're in the jungle, all you have is like, we'll give you like a machete, right? Because you gotta like protect yourself. And like, which
Yeah.
one would you rather do? And we had different answers. But I said my answer has to be going to the jungle with a machete, or going to the jungle because I can't. First of all, I can swim, but I can't tread water in an ocean with waves that big. And then also, I'm not fighting off a shark. Not when it has home court advantage. I'm not
No.
doing that. I would rather take my chances against like a python or a tiger or something like that. And you know potentially win. I can always climb a tree. I know these animals can climb too, but
They can climb,
I'm not going in the ocean and hoping that the little raft I'm on can stay afloat. And then if it doesn't stay afloat, I'm in the ocean just treading water, trying to fight off a shark because I'll just drown myself. I know I don't know if I can say that on this video, but I'll just give up. I can't. I
I'll
can't do
give up.
that.
You
No,
might need to censor this one.
yeah. The second I
um,
see a little fin in the water, I'm
no,
just
yeah,
done.
no.
All right, you guys won. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got me. You got me.
You just
Have
plunge
some
in.
have some of my sweet meat. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The way I thought, so I would say the ocean, and the way I thought of it
Oh Jesus.
was, I think you're thinking of is like worst case scenario. I have no chance in the ocean, but like maybe I have a chance in the jungle, and I don't think you really do either way, even with the machete. But my thought was, there's at least less of a chance of something going wrong in the ocean. Because I'm thinking, like, all right, say I'm not actually in danger in either situation, ocean or jungle, nothing's going to kill me. What's
Okay.
going to happen to me at the ocean? I'm like, it's going to be cold or something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I might get seasick. Like, if nothing actually attacks me, then I just have a kind of a bad night and I'm
Yeah.
scared, perhaps. But in the jungle, you got insects that are going to crawl on you. Like, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking if I'm sitting on the jungle floor for a night, like I'm gonna be very uncomfortable the entire time.
That's fair. And I guess it also depends on where you are. Because if I'm going to like Australia, where like the spiders are as big as dogs, yeah,
No.
I gotta go in the ocean. I have to go in the ocean.
That's why I'm
I,
thinking like the
I
Amazon, like the rainforest, and
yeah,
like
I,
those kind of spiders and snakes that they have. Like
you're
I don't
right.
want any part of that. And the
Let me,
ocean, like
oh,
not like what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I just feel like the chance of something happening is so much lower in the ocean. If something does happen, the chance of dying are much greater, probably. But I
yeah,
think the
no.
chance of something happening are much less. So I feel like I'd take my chances there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna have to go ocean. Just I'm thinking worst case here, because I thought about it and I saw this video the other day of this family and they had a snake in their roof, um, and it was just so big, and it was, and I think that would make me pass out. I think seeing like a creature like so big that it doesn't make sense would make me just pass out, and I would die. I don't know. I'm not as strong as people think I am. I'm not. I'm. I'm not.
I'm not as strong
I'm
as I
not.
look. I'm just a man.
No. Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you right now. If I saw a big spider or a big like snake, and it was just like my bare hands, I'm screaming. I'm screaming and I'm running. So yeah, you're right. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go
For
ocean.
context, when Virgil says I'm not as strong as people think I am, people do need to understand that you're 6'7". Like that makes a difference. Like
Oh
if you
yeah,
aren't
yeah.
aware of that, Virgil is a big
I'm
man.
six.
So
Yeah,
that's what he's
I'm
saying.
6'6". I think I'm weighing in at like 260 right now. So like I'm not like a small guy, but I'll tell you right now, you put you put a big spider, a big snake in front of me. Uh
Mm.
oh.
Uh
Uh oh.
oh. Where'd
Yeah.
Virgil go? Oh, he's
Yeah,
crying in the corner.
exactly. All I see is this little coward. Get out the corner. Get out the corner, guy. Yeah. So you're right, Drew. We're going ocean. We're chilling in a boat because, like, the thing is, like, too, like, you could just in the boat, right? I'm thinking the sun's right above you, right?
Yeah.
So you how you said for a day or how long is
For a
it?
night, for a night. That's what I'm saying. Like if
Oh,
it was
just
a
for a night.
day, you have to worry about sunburns and stuff, I guess. But
Yeah,
during night,
yeah.
you know, I mean,
For a
it
night,
might
for a
actually
night, yeah.
become relaxing at some point. It's
What,
crazy as
being on a
that.
boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was thinking like you might just pass out because like you're just so hot and like the sun's just beating on you, and you obviously are going crazy too.
Hmm.
You're going insane.
What if it's only
So
eight
eventually you
hours?
just
You know,
probably, huh?
if it's only 8 hours. No, if you're asking me where would I rather be stranded, um, I'd probably take the jungle because then it would at least like for a long period of time. Like you have to find your way out or find your way
Yeah.
home. Um, Not that I have a chance either way, but I would rather take the jungle because at least I would feel like I have a chance. Like in the ocean, I would feel so hopeless, and I would definitely be dying alone. You know what I mean? Like that would be tough.
Have you ever seen that one movie about the lady who her and her husband are on a boat and like she I I'm gonna butcher this because I don't remember the whole movie, but the gist of the movie is her and her husband are like on their boat and like right away, or not right away, but like during the boat ride, he falls off and dies, right? So
Mm.
she's like stranded in the middle of the ocean, by herself for a while. I can't really remember how long it was, but it was for like a while. And the whole movie basically is her like or her husband like in the boat with her like directing her to do stuff, but he like I think he has like a broken arm or something like that, or like a couple broken arms, so he can't like help her really like guide the boat or like paddle or anything like that, so she's doing it herself. And the whole time he was dead, he died right away. and she was just like hallucinating that he was there, and like he
Mm.
was getting her through everything, and like she was just imagining he was there and like stranded out in the ocean, and she eventually found her way um, to like a beach or something like that. Not a beach, but like she found her way to a city. They got her there, and like she woke up a couple days later and like was feeling better. And
Did you just ruin the twist ending of that movie?
the thing is though, I don't even remember the name. So
Okay.
you'd have to find it on your own. And then by that time,
Okay.
after you find it on accident, you probably forget about it.
Yeah,
But
that's a good
it is
point.
based on a true story. And yes, I did ruin
Huh.
it. But yeah, it's based
Okay.
on a true story, and I was like, dang. But like that's how I like I don't know. I guess like what in that moment do you think would keep you going? Like obviously like Maddie. Like I
Yeah.
gotta get back to Maddie.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, I guess it would have to be. I mean, you. That's tough.
I guess that's one of those things too where they say like you don't know how strong you are until you're put in a position to like be strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
I've never been tested ever in my life, really.
yeah, like how would she know? Like she probably would have been like, "Oh, I couldn't do." Like if somebody was like, "Do you think you could, you know, paddle a boat for 3 or 4 days, you know, a week at sea, limited food, limited to no food, and like
Hmm.
survive?" And she'd be like, "Oh my god, no!" And like, well, you did it. Like
Yeah, that's a
I
good
don't
point.
know. That's
Yeah,
very
and
interesting.
like, I feel like so much of it would just take like not like your will to live. I guess I don't know if will's the right word,
Exactly.
but it has to be greater than whatever the situation is. Um, that's like way deeper than we had anticipated going with that. But I don't.
No, yeah, but I'm
And in
saying though,
some ways,
like,
I do think being married does actually change that a little bit because before, like, you would want to stay alive because people love you, but
yeah,
like now it's like,
but they'll move on,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
But
but
now it's like,
and not that Maddie's depending on me because she's not like financially, but like you're leaving someone unmarried. That does change things.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that got really deep, but that just when you talked about like being stranded and like being hopeless, I was like, what what would what would it take to like get you like to go? Because like you said, like, oh, people love me. It's like, ugh, I can't keep doing this. Because like you gotta think about it. You're in the middle of the ocean and you can't see anything. Like you can't see anything. You don't know which way like is the right way. And like say you've been paddling for 4 days, like doubt starts to creep in your mind. Like, damn, did I go the wrong way? Like,
And you wouldn't
what
know.
if you? Yeah, you just have to be like, okay, whatever. Like this is the way I chose. What if you're? I don't know. That's so insane to me. I couldn't imagine
Well, I don't even know if you
stranded.
could make like if you choose. I don't know enough about oceans, but if you even chose the wrong way, would you even be making any progress? You know what I mean? Or would you be blowing the other way just because I feel like the ocean has a natural movement to it? I might be wrong, but that feels right to me. So I
It
feel
does feel right.
like the hours you aren't paddling, are you just going back the other way anyway?
Back.
You have no idea because you have no
Oh,
reference point.
yeah.
That'd be so tough. I
Dang.
have no idea.
No, that's a good point. Like you made you were paddling for 8 hours, and then you take a 4 hour break, and you've moved back 4 hours, and then
Yeah,
like each day you're only moving 4 hours. Like, oh my god, that'd be freaking nuts. And then at
yeah.
night it's freezing cold.
And you'd have no
And
idea.
my
You have no idea how much. Well, and think about it too, if it's like hot too, and you're getting burned during the day, and then it's cold, like that would be awful. Again, if this keeps getting too dark, I
yeah,
don't know how we keep
I
getting
just
there.
I don't know, but that's an interesting one right
I
there.
I was talking to someone. You brought up like you don't know how strong you are until you're put in those situations, and I was talking to someone the other day, and I was thinking about like how I almost feel like I want to learn how to like box or do jujitsu or some sort of fighting, just because I was like I don't like I don't want to fight anyone, but right now if I were to be put in that situation, I have no idea how I would react. You know what I mean? Like you like to think like, oh, I'd be fine, but I don't really know. You know what I mean? So I'd like to have at least like some ability
To
outside of
like
like,
protect yourself.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I haven't really thought
My
about it much until the past like couple months. Maybe that has something to do with being married too. I have no idea, but
Oh, a new sense of responsibility.
perhaps, yeah.
Yeah.
Because before
Yeah. I like
it
that,
was
dude.
just protecting myself, and it was like because I always thought like because my mom would be concerned if I was going to perhaps like a dangerous area or something, and I'd be like, Mom, I'm not like I'm 6'5". I'm not the guy people target. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
just how I always
Yeah.
felt. I was like, they're not
Yeah.
going after me. I don't have to worry about that really. But if they did, I
100.
don't know what I would do. You know what I mean? I have no idea. So, but that's what I always just framed it as. So I was like, I wasn't worried about it because I wasn't the one that was at risk. But maybe it is now because I'm married. I'm like, if we were to be attacked, like, how do I handle that? And I don't know how I would. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is something to do with it. That would make sense.
I. Yeah. I don't. I want to get into maybe something like jujitsu. My roommate does jujitsu. He loves it. He talks about it all
Hmm.
the time. Um, but
Didn't Noah do
also,
it for a little bit? I think he was at least
I
interested
think
in
he
it.
did karate for a day, like a week or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. But I know that that's just not um I don't know. That's just like jujitsu, maybe not, but like I'd love to get into something like boxing or something like that. I'd love
Yeah.
to do some
At least
boxing.
be able to take a
Um,
punch and throw a punch in a
yeah,
traditional
man.
sense. Even I've got a friend
Yeah.
who does kickboxing, and he said he likes that too.
Mm,
Just because that
yeah.
way you have another way of defending yourself. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll do something like that. I just know that like a lot of kickboxing classes tend to lean towards like fitness moms, which is fine. It's just it'd be harder to confidently go to that class for me at least.
Yeah, and what am I trying to say? Perfect your craft. Like you don't want to be kicking a mom.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
don't at all.
Unless you, yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah. Um,
All right, we got
but
we got limited time. We got to get into the walk talk.
walk talk. Yes. Okay. So my great friend, are we doing that? What Mason had talked about?
Yeah, if you got it pulled up, that'd be great. Or we could
Let me
paraphrase
see.
it.
Um,
But we've talked
so
about
this
wanting
is
to do walk talk before,
yes.
where we take comments that you guys post on our videos, whether that be TikTok or YouTube. And we want to pull a couple of these in the future. So we have 2 or 3 things to talk about each episode. Um, but we're not getting enough comments yet because you guys aren't commenting enough. So,
And that's
but we
nobody's
did get a
fault
comment
but
from
yours.
Mason. Yeah, it was not our fault. I mean, we're 10th big. We're doing our
Yeah,
job. So
we're
it's
great
really on you
guys.
guys at this point.
We
So,
when we
but
come out
Mason
with the
did comment
videos.
something, and I think it was a good idea.
Yes.
Um, so you got it now.
Yeah, I'm
All right,
pulling it up right now. So my good friend Mason, I've known Mason. I won't, bait his name out. We don't do that on this show. We
here we
only say
got
first
it.
names, no last names.
Okay, there.
But my good friend Mason, and we also don't kink shame on this show. So if you guys are like, oh, like I'm nervous, they'll make fun of me, we won't. We may laugh, but that's because we thought it was funny. We're not laughing at you.
Yes.
But my friend Mason, he said, Health and Wealth 2024, great guy. I think you should each have your own segment that you take a lead on. So he was saying like Drew's dog house and Virgil's vision. And that was basically the gist of it, like have our own segment that we kind of go over and things we kind of enjoy. But I thought those were good ideas. Maybe we'll switch the names
Yeah.
to something we like a little bit more. But
Yeah.
having
Well,
our
I
own
was almost
segments that we
thinking
do.
just this week too, with the Drew's doghouse thing. We could have done something like who's in the doghouse this week, and we could have talked about Saban and Belichick, like them leaving or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Um, I don't know
okay.
if that's what he was implying, but I thought it was a pretty good
No,
idea
that's probably
actually.
what he was playing, or maybe just like some trash news or something like that.
Yeah, I think we'll
That
we'll be
Drew's
able to
like,
find things that that like I consistently like bringing up because like we each have our own feeds on social media and stuff and things that we're
Yeah.
interested in. So I feel like it should probably go along with those things. That way we're
Hmm.
both bringing something new to the conversation. So, but I like that idea though. I think each of us having our own segment would be really cool.
And I think that that'll give just this is what Drew was talking about as well. But I think that this is something that'll give obviously our viewers something to look forward to each week. Maybe I come in with a random fact or some funny stuff or whatever it may be, but just
Mm-hmm.
something that you guys can look forward to, something that we prepare each week, and something that we look forward to. But yeah, man, keep the comments coming. You guys are gonna keep making me go to other people's accounts looking for stuff, and I'll do it. It's fine. I'll keep going there. We need the content. I'll keep doing it. I promise.
Mm.
But um, I want you to know right now that we want to have some stuff on our own. But this Twitter page that just tweeted out some stuff, and they were saying, "What's the biggest family gossip?" And I had to read this one to you, Drew.
Okay.
They said, "What's the family's biggest gossip or juiciest gossip?" And this girl said, "Two of my cousins found out that they were really brothers at my uncle's funeral. My aunt had an unplanned revenge baby with her sister's stepson, but never told anyone. Turned out my uncle knew the whole time and found out after she had been cut off and she cut him out the will." Imagine walking up to your uncle, your dad's funeral, and just the family being like, "Yeah, I know he's dead now, but we need to talk about the fact that you're both actually his child."
Oh my god.
Mom, mom, can we talk? Mom, mom, can we talk? What you talking about? And then this guy said, "My stepmom is the ex-wife of a guy my mom was cheating on with my dad.
You gotta say that again.
My stepmom is the ex-wife of the guy my mom was cheating on with my dad.
So their parents were
Oh, my
married.
dad with. I'm sorry. Parents are
The,
married.
and then the mom cheated with a guy, and that
They got a
guy's
divorce.
wife ended up marrying his dad. Wow.
So it's like a little swingers party at that point.
Yeah.
That's what that looks
They
like.
could have made that
I,
a whole lot more fun and better for the kid too,
yeah.
if you
You
ask
guys should have
me.
just been dating the whole time. There's
Yep.
some more stuff on here, bro.
Throw up a couple upside down
Um,
pineapples and they would have been fine. But instead, they had to
come
ruin the
on.
kid's life.
Come on. Dude, I'm reading some of these right now.
That's brutal.
You guys have some very entertaining families. I've never had anything happen like this in my family.
That's probably a good thing.
Jesus. Yeah. But this stuff is juicy. Like, jeez, man. You guys are. this, so the caption of it was, What's the family's juiciest gossip?" And this girl goes, "Everything I do, apparently." Like,
That sounded so personal. She's so
she's
hurt.
she said she sounds like she's sick of it. She sounds like she just had enough. She said, "Mom, every time I get out of my room, it's some new stuff from you, bro." A lot of these, a lot of these are just like grandpa and grandmas. You guys, yeah. Listen, listen. I'm not gonna say too much because it's not my place, but I didn't expect that from you guys. Okay, I didn't. I didn't expect that from you. I won't go into too much detail.